It is a video or a, it can be also like probably people can also write it down, journal, whatever, but it's event like because she actually wanted to, make a video. So these are all the books that like a book that shows makes a. It is a bit. What I can say is that I think it is Eileen's. Yeah. Hello everyone and welcome back to a new video here in my channel. If you're new and you don't know me, hi, I'm Bra, I'm very happy to be here, and in today's video I have my Sally Rooney author guide. I'm so excited to film this video because I've been wanting to film it for so long, but I needed to, finish reading a couple of books, and now that I have read every single book that Sally Rooney has published till the day of this recording, I'm so happy to bring you guys the author guide of Sally Rooney. If you don't know what an author guide is, it is a video that I saw a while back on Larissa Campesano's channel where she did a guide on how to read Maria Zapata's books because Maria Zapata is her favorite author. She wanted to make a video explaining the order of, how to read the book from that author, and I got that idea and I did it with Lauren Asher because I love Lauren Asher with all my heart. So I did a video a while back as well. I did a video where I shared what I think would be the best order to read every single book that Lauren Asher has, published till the day of that recording. She has published a couple more books, so probably when she publishes a couple others, I will make an updated video on that. But until then, I want to try and make author guides of different authors that I really like. And today, I have my Sally Rooney author guide. So in this video, I'm going to be explaining to you everything about every single book that Sally Rooney has published till the day of this recording, and in what order I think you should read her books, because she's one of my favorite authors and I love her. And I love these videos because if someone wants to if someone wants to read a book about a specific author and doesn't know, or wants to read all of them and doesn't know the order, I feel like these videos can be very helpful. So I have decided to do this with Sally Rooney, and I'm planning on doing it with a couple other authors that I really like. So if you're excited to see the video, like, subscribe, turn on the notifications so you can know when I post a brand new video every Friday. And now let's begin with the video because I'm here to talk about these books right here. These beautiful books, and I have quite a few things to talk about each one, so let's begin with the video. These are all the books that Sally Rooney has published till the day of this recording, and I'm going to be talking about every single one of them, starting with these two, because I'm going to leave this here, okay? Let me put this. I'm going to leave those there. I'm going to start with these two because these are the two books that people usually read first from Sally Rooney, because these are the first two books she ever published. This is Normal People and this is Conversation with Friends. I personally like Conversation with Friends more, but I read Normal People first because I got it as a gift. And usually people read Normal People first, and it is the favorite book of many people. Like, it is not funny how many people love this book. It's like their favorite book. And I am planning on doing a video of rereading these two books because it's been a while since I've read them, and I want to know if I still love them or if I like them more, if I like them less. I'm figuring out, but I'm trying to think of videos that I want to do for the new year, and this is one of them, one of the contenders. And again, these are the two books that she ever published, like the first two books she ever published, and they're very good books. I'm going to start talking about Normal People because I just love Normal People so much that I want to talk about it first, and because it is the first book I ever read and the first book she ever published. So this book is about Connell and Marianne. They are two friends, and you see them grow together and how their friendship, evolves through the time, and you see them go to university and fall in love with each other and, not being good with each other, so they have to break up. And there's a lot of things going on with this book. It has to do with love, friendship. They talk about sex sometimes. It talks about all these topics that are very pre-adolescence kind of stuff, and adolescence topics that, young people care about and want to read about because it's what they feel and what they think, and they want to, read things that are relatable to them. And this book basically is that. This book makes everyone feel like related to something that has to do with it. Like, I don't know how to explain it, and I'm explaining it so bad, I'm so sorry. But this book is literally about everything and anything at the same time. It is all about friendship, love, and all these topics that that can be very intimate and not as intimate, and just it talks about life, and it's so beautiful. And again, this is the book that people love the most, and from her at least, or the one that's what I have heard. But my favorite from these two is Conversation with Friends. When I read this book, I was expecting something pretty similar to Normal People, and to be honest, it is similar, but it is so much better in my opinion. In this case, in Conversation with Friends, Francis and Bobby, two friends, two girls that dated for a while, and then they stopped dating, and now they're just best friends. And you see their relationship with this couple that they become friends with, but the couple is very old, like very old. They're like in their, like, imagine these two girls being like 16, 17, 18, and the couple being like in their late 20s. And they met and they become friends, and it is all about these conversations that friends have during their life, like between 18 and like 25, all these conversations that you may have with your friends, that I have with my friends about all these topics, because they're like topics that are important to us. And she just writes so amazingly that makes this book just so good. And it has some some love, like some age gap love that I'm not a fan of, but she writes so well that I was like, I don't care that there's an age gap in this specific relationship, but it's not really that important on the story. The story is all about conversation and topics that are important to them, and that can be important to current adolescents and current people that are becoming adults, and how to manage life as a 20-year-old, as a 25-year-old, as an 18-year-old. Just it is so beautiful. She writes so amazing. Like, all the books are written amazingly. I love her. One thing that I must say to you is that Sally Rooney writes amazingly, but she doesn't write quotation marks when the people are talking. Like, when there's a conversation, you usually have like quotation marks. This is not quotation marks. I don't know what it is. Like, she has like usually read with like quotation marks and like these specific or like grammatical sign that says that it's a conversation. She doesn't, which is a bit hard sometimes to figure out who's talking and stuff, but once you get the hang of it, you just read like this, and it is so good. You eat all the books up, and I love that from her books, that it's just so good and so amazing. And I just love Sally Rooney with all my heart. She's an Irish author, so a lot of the books are based on Dublin, on Ireland, or have something to do with it, and it's just so amazing. That's what I want to say. I'm just talking random stuff about all, like, just stuff about all her books, and not one by one, and I'm sorry for that, but it is what it is. Now that these two books, are done, I want to talk about the last two books that she published, that are these two, because these two books I read, like, not even 2 weeks ago. Like, I finished them not that long ago, and I love so much. And I'm going to start with Beautiful World, Where Are You? Because this is the third book she published, and this is the latest release, and I love Intimate Soap, and I will talk about this for hours. But let me start with Beautiful World, Where Are You? Because it is also a beautiful book, and I want to talk about it because it's the third book that she ever published. So in this case, in Beautiful World, Where Are You? We have Alice and Eileen, who are two best friends who are, trying to, again, manage life. All of her books are very like general fiction, very like how to manage life with different topics, with different people. They're all fiction. They're not like reality, like memoirs or like non-fiction. They're all fiction, but all the topics are like very current topics. Like in this book, at the end of it, it talks about the pandemic, like the COVID-19 pandemic, and I didn't expect that. I was like, oh wait, I didn't know that was gonna be in this book, but it's so good at the same time. And in this book specifically, Alice meets Felix, who is this worker, and they go to Rome together, and they have this like Rome moment, and they have a lot of intimate relationships between them, and I don't like those scenes, but she writes so good that I read them and I was like, it doesn't feel nasty, or it doesn't feel bad to read it, even though I'm a bit uncomfortable reading it. It's just nice sometimes because she writes so well. You read and you don't know, like, it looks like I read it and I didn't feel like I was reading it. It was like, oh yeah, this is just something that is normal for like life, and that was something that I really enjoyed. And then Eileen, she is a novelist, and she's just trying to she's traveling around, but she's also re-falling in love with this guy that she used to be friends with. Like you were like very good friends, and they are still friends, but their friendship is not as like as intimate anymore, and they're like getting to know each other again, and they also go to a wedding that have something to do with with Eileen's background and stuff, and it is so beautiful. And I love how the two guys end up being like best friends as well, because the girls are best friends. That is so beautiful, and it's just so good. It talks about literally everything. Like literally on the back it says that it talks about like friendship, sex, love, all these things like breakup, pain, grief. It talks about beauty at one point. It just talks about everything. And it's just how they try to manage their lives while being young, and there's young workers who have to like deal with a lot of things, and it's just beautiful. I love this book, but I have to say none of the books that I talked about until now, like not Normal People, not Conversation with Friends, not Beautiful World, Where Are You, were 5 stars. None of them were. They were very close. They were like 4.5, 4.75, but none of them were 5 stars. The only book that I have given 5 stars by Sally Rooney is Intermezzo, because this book was something else. I didn't know what to expect, and when I started reading it, I just started reading it and reading it and reading it, and I became obsessed. I talked for a month about this book to every single person on my accommodation. Everyone knows that I love this book now. It is so good. I'm so obsessed with it. Now I'm obsessed with chess, which is something I didn't expect to be like obsessed with chess. I have a reading vlog of this book on my channel. I will also link it and put it in the eye so you can read it. So you can read it now, so you can watch it. And it is just so amazing. I love this book. This book is about 2 brothers. One of them is a lawyer and the other one is a very genius, important chess player, and their father died, and they have to go through life again. All her books are all about life and about topics that are concerning current readers and like current people, because they're like very now topics. They're very like very present topics in society, and they have to try and manage their lives while they grieve for their father. And you see how the relationship between the 2 brothers is not the best, but throughout the book you see how it kind of evolves to something that is kind of decent. And they also like are trying to manage like their love lives and their work and all these things, and it's so beautiful. It is literally the best book I read from her. I love this so much. This copy is so beautiful. It is from the Fable Fable editorial. I don't know, but I just think it's so beautiful and it's just great. I love this book so much. Again, I will talk about this for ages because it's just so amazing, and I'm so happy I finally gave a 5-star, like a book from her 5-star, because she's a great author, but I never felt like it was a 5-star. Like all these books are amazing, but I never actually felt like they were 5 stars until I read this, and it's just so amazing. I'm so happy that I finally gave one of her books 5 stars. It was so good, and I will definitely recommend reading this or any of them, because all of them are so amazing. And yeah, I think the order you should read them now, because now that I talked about all of them, I want to talk about which order I think you should read them. So I think you should start with Normal People, because again, first book she ever published. It is like a good start to her writing. And then I think you should also read, Conversation with Friends. So it would be first, second, and then third and fourth. So I would say you should read them in the order of publication, which is a very good way of reading books from an author. I think that's my favorite part. Like that's my favorite way, and the way I do it with authors that have a lot of books. I try to read them in the order they published it. But some people, like sometimes it would not be the case. In this specific one it is, and I think you should definitely read all of them. Again, my favorite is right now Intermezzo, but all of them are amazing. Oh my god. All of them are amazing. All of them are worth your time, worth your reading. A friend of mine read this book, by the way. A friend of mine who has never actually read a book for ages. She read this book, ate it in 2 days, and now she's obsessed with her. And I literally told her that I would go back to my accommodation with this book because I think she would love this. And again, she was like, I never read a book, it's been a year since I read a book, and I ate Normal People in 2 days. And I'm like, that's because Celebrity is so amazing. And I feel like that is a great way of showing you how good this author is. A friend of mine who has not read a book in ages read this book in 2 days. I think that is a great way of, showing you how amazing this author is. And again, Intermezzo is my baby. I would always say that's my favorite book from her, because it is. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this little video of me showing you and telling you what each book is about, kind of like without spoilers, of course, and in what order you should read Sally Rooney's books, because she's just so amazing. I love her, and I would always, I would read everything she writes. Like, she can write about the most annoying and worst topic or thing ever, and I would read it and like it and recommend it, because she's so amazing. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, like, subscribe, turn on the notifications so you get notified when I post a brand new video, and I will see you in the next one, guys. And yeah, I will see you in the next video. Bye!